So to make the little sort of garden hut card, what I've done is I've cut the main panel of the bridge card in craft card, and I've cut one of the bridge piece again in craft card, and I've just cut it in two, so it's actually an inch wide on each piece. And again, I've cut another support. So I'm going to fold that in, make sure those folds are nicely done as we did before. And again, I've added a little bit of power tape onto these so that I can glue them on. So I'm just going to take the power tape off. And the reason that I've actually cut this in half is so that I can actually put a link across, or a bridge across, at the top and the bottom, which gives me that little window to look into the garden shed. So, and again, you could do this if you're doing it double-sized. So if you wanted to make a double-sized piece to do a wardrobe, you could do a large shed. You could use big at the top, small at the bottom, or vice versa. So once again, attach one piece to one side, making sure that it's nice and straight. Fold it over and fold down the second piece. Once that's locked, the next one is even easier. So we can just go over like that. You can see there, what I've got then is a little garden shed. And again, you could fold these this way in to actually give you the idea of doors that close and open on it. But what I want to do next is I'm going to show you and demo this technique. So this will be on another clip. I've just made a little bit of sort of faux old wood, and I've cut these strips to 2 inches wide. So I've made 2 strips that are 2 inches wide, and I'm just going to glue those across the top and the bottom. And I actually find it's easier to have a base card made and to decorate it with the coloured or patterned paper than actually trying to make it in the patterned paper itself. So I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to snip those 2 bits off. There we go. Then what I've done is, with some other pieces, I've just cut these into little sort of 2 inch and almost 1.5 inch or 1 inch sections, so that what I can do is just overlap them slightly to give me the look of panels of wood. So I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to start at the base, and I'm just going to glue that one down, and I think I'll glue that one down. I'm going to glue this one on this side. I'm going to take then one of the pieces that I got that are a little bit shorter, so I'm going to glue a couple of these. Again, you could use a tape, but use a strong tape. So I'm going to just stick that one over there. You can see. I think we'll go a little one in there. I want it to look very random. If you can see, I'm not trying very hard to get them straight. I'm not gluing them everywhere. I want it to look almost like the shingles that you would get on a shed. So you can see we've got that. Now again, I'm going to push that down flat if I can, and to give it a really good press, just to make sure that they're all stuck on. And again, it looks like you've got quite an old sort of shed look. What I can do is use the piece from the back die, so I can actually use the square to cut myself a square in the same paper to fit in there. And I will do that, but I won't do it on this demo. This is just to show you the idea of it. So I've got the basic outside. I'm going to then take my little shelf, and what I'm going to do this time is I'm taking the tape off exactly the same, so I've pre-taped this. But instead of using it as a support, I'm going to use it as a little shelf. So just take the support off, and again, you'll have seen what I mean when you saw the beginning. So we'll take that off. There we go. Never the easiest thing to do, and certainly not when there's a camera on you. So we'll take that off. There we go. Make the fold again, but instead of putting it down inside, this time I'm going to let it come up a little bit. So you can see here, pushing it against the base. Okay. So that I've got a little shelf inside my window. It's a little skew width, so let's just move that, try and get that straight. There we go. So I've got a little shelf inside my window. Now, what I did next was to cut myself. So I stamped and die cut some of the garden tools this time. So again, I've just got a set of the random garden tools. And all I'm going to do, again, is add a little bit of glue to these and put them on. So I'm going to go with the rake there. I'm going to go with the spade hanging there, shall we? Or the fork, should I say. We'll go with the spade hanging next to that. So we'll put the spade next to that, hanging at about the same height. There we go. Okay. I've got some little bits that I can then put inside on the shelf. So there's a fork, there's a pair of secateurs, there's a pair of gardening gloves, as if they're set on a shelf, and we've even got a little trowel, so we could have that again inside. And I've got a little watering can, and I've got a little wheelbarrow. What I'm going to do with the wheelbarrow, I'm just going to take finger dauber, and again I'm going to take walnut ink using the mini dye inks, and I'm just going to colour around this just to give it a little bit of 3D. So on one side and on the other side, we'll give it a little bit of a 3D look. Okay, I'm then going to take a little bit of foam tape, and I'm going to put that just in there on the bottom. Take that off, and I want this just here coming over the window, and then using the ivy dye that we've got on the show, I'm going to tuck a few leaves in and around just to lift the colour and give us that idea of sort of garden pieces, as if we've swept up some leaves. So let's go for that there. Okay, we actually even put one on the wheelbarrow. Okay, and then using the mini star flowers, or the little star flower plate, I've made myself a few little star flowers, just again to give it a little bit of a lift. So we'll pop some of those in. You know me, I like things in threes, so we'll have 3 little flowers in there. And we could keep decorating that, adding watering can. The watering can could be hanging over just like that. There's loads of different things we can do, but it gives you that great idea. This could go for a man or for a lady or anything, and works really well as a card, simply. That's something a little bit different, but of course folds completely flat for posting.